Until I can get a haircut, you're gonna have to get used to the hairband. Hopefully, it's only gonna be a couple weeks.
Will be a haircut. By me, Mr. Speaker, and so we will reopen hairdressers and we will.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm in a good mood now. So I also bought this while I was out, and it's gonna make a bit more sense in a few minutes. But for now, I've just gotta. I also got a green glove, which is really cool because I can play like Toy Story on this, and to me it's just a green glove. But right now you can see Toy Story on the glove. Just yeah, okay. Yeah, so we got some bubble mixture. Again, it will make sense in a bit. Just don't click off the video. Or you do what you want. You can click off the video. You have my blessing. So last week I did a reacting to the worst theories video. And while I do enjoy making those videos because I think they're a good laugh, I always get a bit put off by the comments saying I'm being mean or giving off some sort of negative energy. Because, you know, I do not condone being mean on the internet in any form. Ever. And for the record, that's why I make an effort to only criticize the actual theories rather than the people making the videos. And especially with the last video where the people who made the theories were also different to the people who made the videos, you'd think my karma's clean. But I don't know, I still feel bad and kind of want to level the scales a bit. So for that reason, this video is going to be nothing but positive. Nothing but positive. And I'm going to be doing something I don't think I've ever done before. So just brace yourself. I'm going to be praising Pixar. I know, it's a lot to take in, but full-on Pixar fanboy mode activated. Okay, this isn't my best bit, but I do want to stress, I really like Pixar, especially Toy Story. Like, the I like Toy Story sign is still back there. Like, you can't really see it anymore, but it still reigns true, and it's still there, but like, it's way too hot to wear this, so, you know, just give me like 5 seconds. Sorry about all the costume changes, it's all just getting a bit much. Like, I'm trying to get better, I want to make them seamless, but at the moment my name's just Seamus, so we're a few letters off, but one day we'll get there. Anyway, I bring this up because my love of Toy Story and just Pixar in general has kind of come under scrutiny over the last few years, and I've been accused of being a bit of a bootlicker, which is the word kids are using these days apparently, and I want to end this debate once and for all by saying no. Well, yes, I, like many of you watching this video, grew up during Pixar's golden era where they released exceptional original film after exceptional original film after exceptional original film, but I'm not completely blinded by my nostalgia and think they simply can't do wrong because they're Pixar, and would be one of the first to admit that yes, Pixar have had a bit of a weird patch over the last decade with films that aren't up to the usual standard, and I think How Pixar Lost Its Way by Christopher Orr from June 2017 was a really good article that got people talking and kinda resembled the main general consensus at the time. It goes through the Disney company's purchase of Pixar and how since then they've been turning their focus to sequels, a sort of creative bankruptcy, and then with Walt Disney Animation going through their new computer-generated animation era, Pixar have kind of been getting outdone. I'll leave a link in the description if you'd like to read it, but I also think it's important to remind you that this was written in June 2017. It's like almost exactly 3 years ago. I genuinely forgot what month we were in for a second. It's been a long few months. And I think it's safe to say things are a little bit different now. But you know what? Just to prove I'm not this bootlicker, I'm gonna do a mini tournament. Disney versus Pixar, year to year. It's gonna be a mini tournament, and yeah, let's do it. In 2011, Pixar made Cars 2. Yikes. Disney Animation didn't even make a computer animated film that year. Somehow I think that was better, so I'm giving them a point for that. Nothing but positive. In 2012, Pixar made Brave and Disney made Wreck-It Ralph, which, in fairness, these are two very different films that I imagine resonate with two very different audiences, but the general consensus, disregarding the Oscar, which was a complete robbery, seems to agree with me that Wreck-It Ralph is the stronger of the films, so 2-0. In 2013, Pixar made Monsters University and Disney made Frozen, and yes, I do have a personal preference for Monsters University. I've spoken about this many times before, but Frozen became the highest grossing animated film of all time, a title now owned by its own sequel. Meanwhile, I know people who, like me, grew up with Monsters Inc., who still haven't even seen Monsters University, so it hurts me to say it, but we're gonna have to give another point to Disney. Also, by the way, if you haven't seen Monsters University, you should. In 2014, Disney made Big Hero 6, and Pixar didn't release a film. But then in 2015, they made Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. And while I think most will agree that Inside Out is the strong one out of these three, The Good Dinosaur is also the clear weak link. So I guess they kind of cancel each other out. Yeah, let's give a point to both of them and call it a draw. 4-1. Then we have 2016, also known as the year where Disney really outdid Pixar. I don't think it's actually known as that by anyone, but, you know, we can pretend it is, and that made sense. So yeah, Zootopia and Moana versus Finding Dory, and I actually don't mind Finding Dory as much as I criticize it. Like, I do criticize it quite a lot, and I feel bad about it, so nothing but positive. Just, in my opinion, it wasn't exactly the sequel we were dreaming of, and I know this is a dreadful way to justify your opinion, but the fact that both of Disney's films got nominated for an Oscar, with Zootopia going on to win it, while Finding Dory didn't even get nominated, which is rare for Pixar, says a lot, and yeah, it's 6-1. In 2017, Pixar made Cars 3, which is better than Cars 2. It's better than Cars 2. And Disney didn't release a film, so yeah. I'm not gonna say anything negative. I am not going to say anything negative. However, since then, it's clear for all to see that Pixar's films have improved massively, or at least I thought it was, because despite this, they seem to get unnecessarily criticized with every new film they come out with. And I really want to stress the word unnecessarily. You see, I'm not saying don't criticize things. If you don't like something, say you don't like it all you want. However, the problem with Pixar is that their films are getting criticized before they've even come out. And that's where it becomes unnecessary. I don't know why people have this obsession and want to keep extending how long this bad patch has gone on for, but like, it's over. It's been over for a few years now, and if you can't see that, I think you're living in a bit of a nostalgia bubble, meaning you also grew up during Pixar's golden era where they just released consistent banger after banger after banger, which you've now probably convinced yourself are better than they are, and having this bad patch will have only increased this nostalgic energy, making you think, oh, well, Pixar's films were better back in my day. And well, it's okay to do that, and matter of fact, I'm 100% sure that's exactly what I do with the Toy Story films. I also think it's important to appreciate that Pixar's last 4 films have all been really, really good. Like, up to this standard that they originally set in the late 90s, early 2000s, and if you can't see that, let me give you a quick helping hand, okay? Remember I told you this was gonna come back? I think I've caught your nostalgia bubble, and I'm afraid you might be stuck inside, so let me just... You're free, and because of that, I can explain the Pixar Renaissance. You know, like the Disney Renaissance, except with Pixar. It's gonna be a thing. Probably not, it's not gonna be a thing. So the first film in this Renaissance was Coco. And of course, as you'll have expected, it was criticized and called a rip-off of The Book of Life for over a year before it even came out. Because, you know, imagine having more than one movie for a specific holiday. You can't do that. That's against the rules. We don't have any other holidays where we have more than one movie for them. And you mean to tell me it revolves around a character who loves music that ends up going to the land of the dead? How dare you, Pixar? Even though the director of The Book of Life has tweeted in support of this film over 20 times, starting all the way back in 2015, and continually congratulated them for their success, I can't forgive you, because you stole this. But yeah, this film's great, in my opinion, but maybe you don't want to know my opinion. And well, that's very interesting, that, because I want to bring you back to Christopher Orr. Remember the guy who wrote the article from earlier in this video? Well, 5 months later, he also wrote a review of Coco, and his words, not mine. Coco is among Pixar's best movies in years. Now, he hasn't reviewed a Pixar film since then, to my knowledge, but if his initial post was kind of what got people talking about the Pixar dark age, shall we say, I can only imagine this signifies, in Christopher's opinion, that the Renaissance began with Coco. And also, just, can you imagine not liking Coco? Couldn't be me. I love you, Leon Critch. And let's get on to the next film, Incredibles 2. Stop making sequels, Pixar. We want originals. That's you, if you were in the bubble earlier. That would have been you when you were in the bubble. Now you're not in the bubble, so you're good, but just to break it to you. In fairness, I feel like there was more demand for this specific sequel than the other ones that have come out, at least from those of us who grew up with The Incredibles. But man, if this sequel isn't one of Pixar's most underrated films, I will die on this hill. Now, I'm not trying to say it was as good as the original. I don't think it was. But how is it ever gonna live up to The Incredibles? That's like the perfect film. And then on top of that, Incredibles 2 was teased at the end of it, meaning we'd been waiting 14 years. Like, the expectations were through the roof. So given the circumstances, I'd say they did a pretty good job in terms of telling a new story and finishing off the whole making supers legal again narrative from the original film. And I liked it. It's clear ahead their best non-Toy Story sequel, which leads in perfectly to Toy Story 4. I feel like it goes without saying with this one that people wanted to hate it before they even saw it because it was unnecessary, leading to most people eating their words, which couldn't have made me happier. I remember when it came out, people started tweeting me apologizing for calling it unnecessary, and it felt good. It felt really good. Go follow me on Twitter, @GormanSeamus. And I don't know how this is going to come off, but in the end, I don't really believe people who say they didn't like this one, because if you went in wanting to hate it, you deserve to be deprived of enjoying it. Yeah, I said it. I feel mean. That was kind of mean. Why did I say at the start of this video? I'm going to be nothing but positive. Anyway, let's move on. Don't worry, there's not going to be any spoilers for this. I know there are a lot of good reasons why people might not have seen it, and just when you get the chance to, watch it and enjoy it. I'm jealous of you to get to see it for the first time. Also, do you guys remember when people were complaining that this film didn't feel or look enough like a Pixar film? One sec. Oh, okay, I'm good. I don't know how to put this nicely, but if this film didn't make you cry, or at least feel something in here, you are heartless, and you deserve to... Okay, no, I'm not going to say that. That is a bit mean. We're being nice, remember? Nothing but positive. Unfortunately, it's not going to go down among Pixar's best because of the circumstances of its release and it underachieving at the box office, with a lot of people still not seeing it. But that's pretty much the case for every film in 2020, so yeah. It's still great. Like, I've seen it 5 or 6 times now, and it just gets better with every viewing, which, matter of fact, this can be applied to all 4 of these films. I've seen each of these films multiple times, and they just keep growing on me. Like, I'm not getting tired of them, not even a little, and to me, that is the ultimate sign Pixar are back to their best. And I can only hope this renaissance goes on for many years to come. I mean, realistically, Soul isn't going to be the one to let the side down, is it? It's a Pete Docter original film. His track record is impeccable. And I've just remembered that it was going to come out like 3 weeks ago, and it's been massively delayed. So, you know, thanks for reminding me of that. I thought we were cool after I popped that nostalgia bubble and everything. I thought we were getting on, but apparently not. You know, that's it. I'm done. This video's over. Leave a like and subscribe and watch another video on Patreon, but... You have absolutely